Good evening and welcome to Golem Telly. I am your host, the magical mystery, and this is episode 1, a warm-up video, the inaugural Golem Telly video. This is a channel I've wanted to start for a long time. I've got some fantastic plans for it. I'll reveal more and more about those plans in the weeks and months ahead, but I really wanted to get started with a bit of a warm-up video so that I could put it up on YouTube, see how it looks and sounds, and get a bit of feedback and so on, all that good stuff. And then we can build from there. So, tonight, I'm going to kick off by taking a look at 2 books that arrived in the post just today. These are the Giant Facsimile Editions of Secret of the Unicorn and Red Rackham's Treasure. They are 2 parts of one larger Tintin story. These are extremely heavy, so I'm going to put them back down now, lest I drop them on the floor and ruin them. And let's go over to camera 2 and we'll take a closer look, and then we'll meet back here afterwards. Okay, so here they are. The Secret of the Unicorn and Red Rackham's Treasure. The Giant Facsimile Editions. These are the only 2 Giant Facsimile Editions of Tintin books that have been produced, as far as I know. I had a good look online for more, but I couldn't find any. So yeah, let's take a look. We're going to open them up as well, so they're still shrink wrapped at the moment. Before I do, let's take a quick look at how they compare size-wise to the standard hardcovers. Okay, so here we are. There's one of them, and there's the other. Okay, so if I put them sideways on as well, actually, you can see that they are about the size of, well, they're about double the size. Put them that way. And you can see that, yeah, I don't know. Does that help? Not really. Also, the other thing to bear in mind is that they're a lot thicker. So you can see the spines on these. These have around about 64 pages each, of story pages at least anyway. So maybe 66, 68 pages inside, something like that altogether. Just give you a quick look at what the originals look like. You know, these end papers here, very pleasant. Same front and back, and same for Red Rackham's Treasure as well. So I'm not meant to be doing a review of the originals, but just so you've got a point of comparison. And if you look at the, I mean, these are good. These are good editions. You know, they're good quality. Paper's good. It's not glossy. It's kind of matte paper. Yeah, and it's quite thick. Yeah, they're great editions. Perfectly serviceable for anybody who wanted to relive some Tintin memories. But obviously, these Giant Facsimile Editions are the next level. There we go. So one last look at the comparative size of the originals versus the giant versions, and yeah, okay, that's enough of that. Let's take a closer look. The other thing to remember is that these, well, one of the other things to remember is that these are facsimile editions of the originals, so there are some slight differences with regard to the cover artwork. You can just see differences here, in the font at the top there, and there's nothing on the spines of these as well. Now, my guess is that, I mean, obviously the originals were in French, so these are English language versions of those originals. Again, you can see the difference here. In all other respects, they seem pretty similar. Slight different colours here. But yeah, there we go. So these are meant to be as close an approximation to the originals as possible, with the exception of the ridiculously huge size. So I mentioned the thickness of those previous editions. Let's take a look at, oh God, how am I going to lift it? You can probably see the difference. In fact, I'll tell you what, let me hold up one of the originals in terms of on its edge, and you can see how they compare. So there we go. You see that okay? Vast difference in thickness. Now, without having opened it yet, I'm assuming that's purely down to the thickness of the paper. but let's find out. So let me get Red Rackham's treasure out of the way for now, and that down there. Blimey, and he went through the floor. And there it is. There's the secret of the unicorn. We'll open this one up and we'll take a look, and then we'll open up Red Rackham's treasure and we'll take a look at that one as well. And that will be that. Okay, here we go. What's the best way in? I'll use my nail to, cut along the bottom. Don't want to hurt the book if I can help it. I think we're in. Oh, hang on. Let's take a quick look at the comparison of the back. Well, yeah, very different, of course, because here you get that classic sort of, this is a 2002 edition, by the way. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 24 editions altogether, including this very first adventure. I think it's the very first adventure anyway, The Land of the Soviets, and then this one, this unfinished one. Okay, later editions I don't believe have that one, for obvious reasons. But this one, and let's also just, oh God, lift this thing up again and show you the back of this one as well. It matches, I think, is this the same? Looks like it's identical on both ones. Yeah, let's see what it says. The original edition of The Secret of the Unicorn in French was published in 1943. Oh, there we go. And it says Red Rackham's Treasure in French was published in 1945. So you had to wait 2 years to find out how that story ended. Blimey. It's an interesting story, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. Here, for the first time, is an English language edition of that original version in an enlarged, you can say that again, and beautiful presentation that allows Tintin fans to pore over each panel of Hergé's classic artwork. An essential edition for Tintin collectors. Yeah, okay, available. There's only these two then in super mega size. What do I call them? Giant Facsimile Edition size. All right, okay, let's carry on. Where were we? Oh, down here. Okay, let's get this shrink wrap off. Printed in China, $60. I think these were printed in 2012. I'm not sure. We can double check that. Right, let's get this open. A lot of shrink wrap. Oops, nearly knocked the camera over. Right, that's it for the shrink wrap. Let's get this in place. Make sure we can see it okay. Yeah, all right. Nice cover. A matte finish on this as well. And yeah, that looks like it might be a separate sort of cloth binding, but it's not, it's just the colour. Okay, let's take a look. This is going to move the cloth around, so let me open it. Let me move this over here so we can get the whole thing in the picture. Okay, here we go. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? The whole negative image display arrangement. Oh, and this paper, is that one page? Oh my goodness. It's like a piece of cardboard. All right, The Secret of the Unicorn. That is really thick, that end sheet. And this is pretty thick too. My God, it is. It's like proper art paper. This is one page. Okay. There we go. Printed by Custerman. Is that right? 2012. Okay. Wow. This paper's gorgeous. First thing we should do is just take a quick look at a comparison of the artwork. See if there's any immediately obvious changes. Oops. Oh, hang on. I got a better idea. Let's put that there for a second. And let's go to page 2. This is great. Every single page is super thick. Wow. Okay, it's lovely. Right, let me put this over here. And we'll see if we can spot any differences in the artwork. So there's, right, well immediately you can, to my eye, you can see some differences. I wonder if it's just because of the quality of the paper, this thick art style paper that the Giant edition is printed on. But other than that, the colours seem to be pretty similar. Okay, looks good though, doesn't it? So I guess the main point of these Giant Facsimile Editions is just to really appreciate the artwork in a way that, well, you wouldn't necessarily be able to fully when you're looking at the smaller editions. This seems a bit warmer. See, the colours here seem a bit warmer and they seem a bit cooler here. That's the main difference that I'm seeing straight away. Anyway, let's put this away. Other than that, I don't think there's a massive difference in terms of the artwork. Yeah, okay, so in terms of the story, this first one, Secret of the Unicorn, is all about, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but it's all follows around trying to uncover what the secret of the unicorn is, and the unicorn is basically the name of a ship that was lost at sea. And then you've got what's his name's Haddock's ancestor, Francis Haddock, who was involved in this original voyage, and it's all about treasure, really. It's all about hunting treasure. But the first book, Secret of the Unicorn, is essentially Tintin and company trying to piece together the clues, literally, at certain points, and then figure out what it's all about, and then they kind of... That's nice, isn't it? So what's that, page 15? Looks like even the numbering at the bottom is pretty much the same, as in the font for the numbers. Let's just turn to page 15 and see how that compares. Hang on, I'm doing this with one hand. I can do it. 13, 15, right. I mean, it's a lovely shot. Again, look, I don't know, actually, some of you might prefer that. It's certainly more colourful. It's a brighter blue, but there's a real prettiness to this original, I mean, must be the original colours. I don't have an original copy of the 1943 edition to compare it with, but if this is meant to be a facsimile edition of the original, and that was the original colouring, then I like it. Even though the more modern version is more vivid. Anyway, God, I love this paper. It's gorgeous. So, the thing about Captain Haddock, on rereading the other editions, before sort of making this video, I'm reminded of just what a complete and total drunk he is. He's a real liability. In fact, as characters, there's only really Tintin who's properly resourceful, and Snowy, of course. The rest, I mean, it's a wonder they actually managed to get anything solved at all, given how useless and inept, and just how much of a pain they are. I mean, he's got total anger issues, and he's drunk all the time. I mean, it's kind of sad, actually. He can't operate without a bottle of something going down his neck. And then calculus. Calculus is the one that really got on my nerves. I know. It's probably a heresy to say such a thing, but that whole thing where he can't understand a word they're saying, it gets a bit... It grates after a while. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Still a brilliant story. Anyway, and also the Thompson twins as well. Yeah, they seem to be just... They're always getting their heads bashed in and getting their bowler hats stuck on their faces. Doesn't matter. It's all good fun. And this is sort of... This is where the first... It's like a midway point in the story. Look at that. I can barely reach the other end and I've got long arms. This is kind of like an interlude bit. This guy apparently is shot, and then it's reported in the newspaper, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Look how clever Snowy is. Clever dog. So yeah, Tintin gets captured, and Snowy has to follow and try and rescue him, try and help him escape. Again, I don't want to give anything away. I want you to read the story and the other one and enjoy it. So maybe I won't look at the last few pages of this one, because I don't want to give anything away right at the very end. It goes up to about page 63 or 64. Anyway. Lovely. Should we get the other one open? Yeah, let's do it. God, it's heavy. Right. Let's get this one out of the way. I can't lift it. All right. Where am I going to put it? Over there. That'll do. Right. Red Rackham's Treasure. Then let's get this one open too. How did I do the last one? I dug my... Oh, it's already a bit open. That's handy. Okay. Now, where did I get these two from? While I'm opening this one, I'll tell you. It's 2024 right now, and so these books have been around for about 12 years, so you would have thought they'd be pretty much sold out, or at least only available on the aftermarket. Is that what you call it if you're buying it off eBay or something? Or on Amazon Marketplace? Anyway, not quite so. I managed to get them both from Amazon. But one I ordered, I think this one I ordered from Amazon US, so Amazon.com. And the other one I ordered from Amazon.co.uk, but it looked as though it was being shipped in from the United States. But both came to around about 50 quid. 45 quid, I think, the equivalent, something like that. Anyway, I didn't pay anywhere near as much as you might think you'd have to pay for editions like these. And I didn't want to buy one without the other, so I wouldn't have bought them. Or I wouldn't have bought one unless I could be sure of getting the other, so I bought them on the same day. And they both arrived on the same day as well. So I guess, I don't know, it gets a bit complicated with Amazon.co.uk and Amazon.com, especially when it appears that they're getting stuff from Amazon in the US. It's getting boring, isn't it? I'm boring myself. Shall I just shut up? Do you like my background cloth, by the way? Sorry, this is video number 1. It's the first video I'm doing for Golem Telly. This is what I'm using for my table. Look, underneath here, I'll show you one day, is my arcade machine, my Gauntlet arcade machine. And I had this flag printed to serve as a dust cover, and it works beautifully. Anyway, that's for another time. Where are we? Yeah, okay, right, get on with it, Jez. Here we go. So the same, I think, pretty much exactly the same, without comparing them again, it looks like exactly the same end papers as the previous edition, as Secret of the Unicorn. And here we go. 2012. I wonder why they didn't do any more of these. I mean, I guess these two probably didn't sell very well, but I'd love to see more. Imagine the Tintin on the Moon stories, that pair of stories in this giant facsimile size. They'd look great, wouldn't they? Well, all of them would. All of them would. So what a pity they never did any more, and I guess they're not going to now. It's been 12 years. Anyway, Red Rackham's Treasure. Don't know if I need to do a comparison with the smaller edition this time. You get the idea. Lovely thick paper again. And this is, it picks up from where the previous story left off. And they are, I mean, there's calculus. There's barely a page where there we go. Please speak a bit louder, I'm a little hard of hearing. And this is about as irritated as I was getting with his constant inability to hear a word anybody's saying. All right, he's got a cool lab though. Look at that. So he invents this submarine, the one that you can see on the front cover. Whoops. And it's calculus that has created this submarine. That's one that doesn't get very far, but he agrees to build a smaller one, I think. There we are. I'll make another smaller one. It will be ready in 8 days' time. It's very precise. Okay. And then they get equipped for the journey to go and find the unicorn, and they buy a diving suit and so on, all that stuff. So they're all ready. And then they sail out. It's a lovely artwork. I mean, you could just look at this artwork in this lovely large, super large size, all day long, couldn't you? Oh yeah, so calculus stows away, and they're all trying to figure. A lot of the story, I don't know whether it's just to sort of stretch it out to 60 odd pages per part, if you like, for the first and second part. But a lot of the story, you know, it's kind of slowed down with little scrapes they get themselves into and little mini mysteries along the way, like who's been stealing stuff, who's stealing his whiskey. See, look at how panicked he is. Oh no, this is what he thinks it's a bomb in there. But he has gone down for a drink, I think. There we go, blistering barnacles, my bottle of whiskey has vanished. Yeah. He has to have a drink, bless him. Then eventually they discover, so you've got what, hang on, let's count. The number of pages that are devoted, for instance, to the mystery of things going missing. I think it kind of starts around about here, if I remember correctly. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Captain I can't stand, and he's like, what? And he says, thieving Snowy. They blame Snowy. They blame the dog, first of all. I mean, you know, it would make sense. A box of biscuits has gone missing, and then something else. It's like a chicken goes missing. There we go. A whole chicken has disappeared, and they're all blaming Snowy. Poor thing. There are some bones, so. But then I think a pillow and these guys are fighting over a pillow and some blankets that have gone missing too. And what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. There we go. And then they realise that calculus is in here. So there's around about 7 or 8 pages just occupied by the build-up of discovering that calculus is on the ship. So out of 60 pages or thereabouts, that's what, around about, do some maths for me, I don't know. Well, let's say about 15% of the story is taken up by that. So, anyway, I mustn't complain. It's a pleasure all the way anyway, even if some of the stuff isn't directly relevant or essential to driving the plot forward. Okay, and then they arrive at this island, and then they keep they're hunting for. The big panels are where these editions really appear to be coming into their own as well. You get to see all the little details, and it just looks really good. I don't know if that's coming through on the video, but anyway, it looks beautiful. It's really, really nice seeing these big panels. So big. And then eventually, after a few more sort of twists and turns, this is where they start using the submarine, they finally locate what they're looking for. Although, again, not quite yet. It takes a while. Anyway, jumping forward a few pages now. And it has a kind of an unexpected ending, which you can discover for yourselves, whichever editions you track down, whether it's these or whether it's just the originals. But I won't give that away either, because I'm not a spoilery sort of person. So let's stop around about page 51, close that up, and just turn that back around and bring in The Secret of the Unicorn one more time. And yeah, okay, let's see. How's that looking on the screen? We got them in the shot. Yeah, fabulous. The Secret of the Unicorn and Red Rackham's Treasure, Giant Facsimile Editions. Get them while you can. I believe that it is customary at this point in proceedings to ask viewers if they would like and share the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. So please do all the above. This has been the first of many videos. Thank you for joining me this evening. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Evening shadows deep.